അതിൻ്റെ പ്രതികരണത്തിൽ ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കണേ.
Water is the most important resource on the planet. Water wraps about 71% of the total Earth's surface. Out of the total water cover on the Earth, 97% resides in the oceans and only 3% of water is fresh. Of the fresh water, 69% resides in the glaciers, 30% in the underground, and less than 1% is located in lakes, rivers, and swamps. Without water, life cannot exist. But what makes water an extremely important resource? Water is a versatile resource, that is, it has several unique characteristics. Water quenches our thirst. Water is essential for photosynthesis in the plants to happen, that allows them to grow properly and store food, through which we get food. Water plays a vital role in facilitating the working of enzymes in living organisms. The water in the Earth's oceans absorbs heat from the sun during the day and helps maintain the temperature during the night. Humans make use of water for a wide range of domestic activities such as cooking, cleaning, and washing. Water also serves as a medium for transportation of cargo. Water is also used in making many beverages and food products. And we can go on and 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 on. Its uses. So basically, characteristics like these make water an extremely important resource on the planet. But this beautiful and precious resource has started to deplete. Day 0 is a hypothetical day where the public water runs out completely. Many parts of the world are getting closer and closer to day 0. In fact, by 2040, most of the world won't have enough water to meet basic needs. There's no substitute for water. Each of us will die without water. How can we build a world without the very essential resource water? How can we live without water? We've got enough water from our ancestors. But is this what we give to our future generations?
Cape Town, it could become the first major city in the world to run out of water.
Cape Town, South Africa is inching closer now to day 0.
It's just 92 days away from having to shut off most water taps because of a severe drought.
Cape Town, South Africa is the first major country to run out of water. 4 million residents of the city would stop getting running water. They'd get water rations and they have to line up to get it. A day 0 was announced in Cape Town in March 2018.
This is Cape Town's main reservoir, supplying more than half of the city's water. I should be underwater right now, but as you can see, there is none in sight.
The reservoir is down to just 10% of its capacity. The last 9% of the water is unusable because of the high mix of sand in it, making it almost mud. The winter rainfall runs from May to August, but rain alone is unlikely to save Cape Town. Instead, city officials are instructing residents to limit their daily water use per person to 50 liters, or 13 gallons a day. The coastal city is better known as a tourist destination, with multi-million-dollar beachfront properties. But 3 years of unprecedented drought and rapid population growth, coupled with inadequate planning, have plunged this paradise into panic.
Well, it's not just Cape Town.
Sao Paulo, Melbourne, Jakarta, London, Beijing, Istanbul, Tokyo, Bangalore, Barcelona, and Mexico City will all face their own day zero in the next few decades, unless their water use radically changes.
Bangalore city depends upon the river Kaveri for most of its water needs. Over-extraction of groundwater, nature of underground aquifers in this region, and rapid urban expansion without corresponding updates to the water infrastructure are the main factors for water crisis in Bangalore.
This crisis is not the result of a single year of acute rainfall. It has been a long time coming. Back in 2007, 110 villages were merged with the city. Since then, they have only been dependent on bore wells for their water supply. They have not been supplied any pipe water through the Kaveri River. As a result, thousands of bore wells have been dug up. And that is the case in the city as well. Urban infrastructure, malls, apartments, tech parks, layouts have been constructed repeatedly over the years and without proper planning. This has brought tremendous pressure on groundwater supply, and groundwater levels are now severely low.
We are now near River Kaveri in Srirangpatna, near Karighatta, where locals and farmers say this is the lowest water levels they've seen since many years.
ನೀರಿದೆ ಇವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಕ್ಕಲು ಬಿದ್ದವೆ ಗದ್ದೆಗಡೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರು ಇಳಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಕ್ಕಲು ಬಿದ್ದವೆ ಒಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಭಾರಿ ಕಷ್ಟ ನೋವು ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ತುಂಬ ನೋವು ಮಾತ್ರ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಬೋರ್ ತೆಗಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ ನೀರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಇದು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಹಂಗಾಯ್ತು ಹಿಂಗಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಇದಾಯ್ತು
ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ 2-3 ಸಾವಿರ ಬೇಕು ನೀರಿಗೆ ಓಡ್ಸೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡೋದ ನಾವು ನೀರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡೋದ ಇವಾಗ 700 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಒಂದು ಲೋಡು ನೀರು.
Of the 14,700 bore wells in Bangalore, 6,997 have dried up as per reports. Let's see what the people of the city have done to control this water crisis. People of Bangalore started using every drop of water in their houses very carefully. Due to lack of water, many people are only bathing 5 times a month. People have started using disposable plates and glasses for eating and drinking so that the water is not wasted in washing the utensils. They have started to use wet wipes to clean their face and hands. People who waste water unnecessarily are fined 5,000 rupees. The government has promised to fill up 14 dried up lakes with treated water to recharge the groundwater levels.
We will see that we provide water to very reasonable rate to all the people. We know that we are concerned about it because all the borewells have been dried, including my house borewell also has been dried.
Karnataka government has allocated 556 crores to address the crisis. As per the plan shared by the state's Deputy CM D.K. Shivakumar, each MLA representing Bangalore has been allocated 10 crores to address water scarcity in their own constituencies. Moreover, the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike has set aside 148 crores, while the BWSSB has earmarked 128 crores to address the issue. Karnataka's Deputy CM assured citizens that the government will identify the points where water is available. They will make efforts to provide water at very reasonable rate to all the people. CM Siddaramaiah laid the foundation stone for the Vrishabhavati lift irrigation project on March 4th. As per the Karnataka government, the project would permanently solve the water problems in Bangalore city. Over-extraction of groundwater and construction of heavy buildings for urbanization on the land that are discussed as few causes for water depletion eventually compress the soil or land and make it unfit for absorption of water to store them as groundwater, which is one of the freshwater resources.
Let's take a bottle of Coca-Cola. 98% of the water in that bottle is not what you see in that bottle. 98% of the water is actually embedded in all the ingredients that were ground to make that bottle of Coca-Cola.
74 liters of water goes into every glass of beer. A cup of coffee, 130 liters. Each of your cotton shirts, 2,500 liters. But nothing has as much embedded water as meat. Just 1 quarter-pound hamburger takes around 1,650 liters of water to produce. The world is eating more and more like Americans, higher calorie diets with more meat. But everyone can't eat like Americans. There actually isn't enough water in the world. In most places in the world, water is treated and priced like there will always be enough of it. So we end up using it in absurdly wasteful ways.
Till now, we have understood various ways in which water is getting lost. But Sadhguru mentions the real reason for water scarcity in India.
About being conscious of how we use water, definitely every citizen must do it. But the important thing is transforming India's agriculture. Right now the problem is there is not enough organic content in the soil. How do you bring organic content into the soil? The only way you can do it is the leaves of the trees and the animal waste. Trees are gone long time ago, animals are all traveling outside the country.
What do you mean by animals going out of the country?
Well, we are the largest beef exporter. How will you keep the organic content in the soil if there's no animal waste and leaves from the trees? These are the only two sources you have. According to UN standards, to call soil as soil, there must be a minimum of 2% organic content. But today, nearly 25% of India's soil has only 0.05% organic content. This means we are converting fertile land into a desert. Desertification is happening at a rapid pace. This is the most crucial thing, that we are destroying the soil. Water is not the issue, soil is the issue. If the soil is organically rich, there will always be water.
So now I'm going to list out a few ways in which you can start conserving water. So the first thing you have to do is to construct a rainwater harvesting pit around your house. So this pit is helpful to store more groundwater in the ground, which increases the levels of groundwater in the ground, and we will not have any shortage for water for the future generation. So the next thing you have to do is to grow more trees. So to grow more trees, of course, you need some soil. But is this soil one of the things which you more often see in your surroundings? I'm sure most of our houses and our colonies or something like that, we actually see very little amount of soil. Rest all parts are covered with buildings, apartments, independent houses, etc. We cannot dismantle the buildings which we have built on earth, but we can start to grow more trees on the leftover soil. There was a little bit of soil around my house, and recently they have started constructing houses on that, and they also dig a borewell in that, which means they are starting to actually extract more groundwater without actually adding some groundwater to the ground. I felt really bad when they started constructing more houses on that soil. We have to grow more trees, as I told. One thing our government should stop doing is that we should stop constructing more amount of buildings, complexes, malls, etc. without proper knowledge of the infrastructure of water, because unplanned development and unplanned construction of all these complexes in Bangalore led to a severe water scarcity, as we have all seen. For suppose we're using 100 liters of water for some purpose or the other, we must give it back to Mother Nature, the same 100 liters of water. So calculated usage of water is also very, very important for conservation of water. In order to do that, we must use water in the collected form. Instead of using running tap water, we must collect them and then start to use them. That's when we will know about the amount of water we are using, and we'll also come to know about are we using it consciously or are we using it for waste. So then you can actually cut the amount of water you're wasting and conserve water.
It is not a complex problem. Traditionally, we have always known the answer for this. If you want to own a hectare of land, you must have a minimum of 5 bovine animals on the land. This is always the understanding of the organic farmer. But today that understanding is gone because he thinks he can throw chemicals and do it. If you do not put back organic content back into the soil, you're ruining the soil. Right now, out of 160 million hectares of arable land that we have in this country, 104 million hectares have been labeled as distressed soil.
Cape Town's Day Zero was first scheduled for March 18th, but then people started conserving.
The water restrictions are clearly having some effect. Day Zero has been pushed back by a month.
Cape Town announced it has pushed back Day Zero until July 9th.
Authorities expect Day Zero, as it's been dubbed, to take place at the end of August instead of July.
Now that's since been pushed back to next year thanks to the extraordinary efforts of residents and authorities.
I'm sure you'll be definitely motivated to conserve water after hearing about Cape Town's Day Zero being postponed eventually by the efforts of the people. I hope that the cases where water has completely drained out have created an impact on all of you to conserve water. We must reconstruct the harm that we have done to Mother Earth. We have to understand the importance of this very precious resource, water. I hope that these captivating visuals and real-life stories shed light on the urgent need for water conservation and inspired all of you towards taking action to conserve this precious resource for our future generations. Because conservation of water is not the choice of an individual. It is the very responsibility of the world. Save and share this video to as many people as you can. Save water, save lives. Namaste.